there. Welcome to my channel. This is not going to go as expected. I was fully expecting you guys to be looking straight down at my planner, which I have not done yet because I was waiting to do it live. Uh, and so I'm learning a little bit still. When I go into YouTube on my phone, just showing you guys, it says here that I need 50 subscribers and should do some shorts in order to get those 50 subscribers. Well, I have 60, so I'm not sure why the phone isn't working. I figured I was good to go, but apparently I am not yet good to go. So I can go live on the computer, but not on the phone yet. So you're gonna just kind of hang out with me, and I'm gonna walk you through the process of kind of what I do to set up a live, or not a live, but a video, and then I will start filming. And if you want to stick around and chat with me while that happens, that's great. And then when I'm all done, I will upload the video of actually doing the planner. So if you're here to actually watch physically doing the planner, then stick around because I will post that um, as soon as it finishes being recorded. So first thing that I usually do when I'm getting ready to set up for uh, filming for YouTube is I get out my little microphone. I have this and I absolutely love it. I have not charged this since I started. I had a full charge on it when I started, and it still has 3 bars with all the filming I've been doing. So that's pretty amazing. Um, oh, and I do, Keisha, actually have YouTube Studio as well, and it doesn't even have a live button right now. um, it will only let me go. Let's see, let me show you. I have on YouTube Studio here, and when I try and do it, it will only let me go into my camera roll for videos. So unfortunately, that's not working either. I looked at all of the different options, and it didn't give me any way to go live on the phone. So um, anyway, what I first do is I start with this microphone. I absolutely love it. So the bottom comes out, and I will plug that into my phone, just like that. And then this is a boom microphone, but I don't like having the boom microphone far away. So I take out one of these like that. And it's got a little magnet on the back, and it automatically connects and does noise canceling and everything to this the little piece. And so I just take the little mag part off the back, put here on my shirt, and we are good to go with the microphone. So I love this. I got this right before the beginning of August. It was Kickstarter. It actually has 2 microphones. So if you want to do sound mixing and, have 2 people on mic, and then if I were to use it as a stick mic, it does have, soft little things that I can stick on top of it and actually use it like regular microphone. So that's pretty cool. So I have that. I usually get that all set up first. And then I have this because I like to film on my back camera, not my front camera. And so I turn this on, and this will allow me to screen mirror. So let's see. It gives me a little QR code. I scan that little QR code here with my phone and click join on it. And then I have to, on my phone, I have to pull down here. Oops, get out of camera. Pull down from the top corner and hit screen mirroring. And that will allow this to be able to see what I'm doing. I can actually set this in front of the desk and I can make sure that my planner is staying in frame and things like that. So I am going to, and then I take my phone and I'll get it into video mode. And I have this little gadget here that is on the corner of my desk that my phone just magnets to, and I can get it all set up and ready for filming live, or for filming the planner. Sorry. Uh, so one of the things I like to do is kind of have it angled out. I've found that if I try and angle it straight up and down, that I get this in the picture, and I don't like to have that in my picture. I'm fussy like that. So angle it up, turn the little uh, ball here, and I can show you what I'm looking at on my screen. So I just kind of try and get the desk in focus, and then I'll zoom in to where the planner is. Make sure I'm far enough over. And there we go. Doing everything backwards because now I'm looking at you guys in the camera. And there we go. So now I know that I've got from about here where this washi is to about the pen um, to film. So I've got a little strip of paper. I can zoom out and show you. It's got my colors on it. So I'll set that just off camera. There we go. Just off camera. And there we go. I usually select my washi ahead of time. I have selected this really pretty from Bloomsicle. And I will definitely put links to all these gadgets for you in the comments of the live. Um, I usually have this little I usually have my washi selected, and then I usually pick the colors of the tombos that I'm going to use to coordinate with the washi. And I do that all before I start filming because I don't necessarily want to leave you guys looking at a blank page while I'm ruffling through all of my things. It's one thing if I'm going to grab a sticker book, but it's another thing to be like grabbing pens and washies. And at least by the time I grab the sticker book, I've got all of the washi placed. And so you have actually something visually interesting to look at um, before before I start kind of ruffling through all of my planner supplies. I do have a full set of Tombos that I pull from. Um, I have taken a long time to collect them. I've been doing this for a long time. So even though my YouTube channel is new and I'm new to this whole filming thing, I've been doing the planner thing for a really long time. So um, anyway, I'm going to put this down because I can't hold this and film the planner video, and you'll hear me start the planner video, and we will be good to go. I am seeing that this is not on video though right now. This camera, let's get the camera. So I noticed that I didn't have the little red dot for video. Now I do. So now I have to do my alignment again, of course. sure that you are even. I usually try and line up the bottom with the bottom edge of my desk pad. That way I know where it ends, and I also know which orientation is going to be correct for you guys. So anyway, now I'll put this down. One of the neat features of the microphone that I have is that I just need to push this button on the microphone twice, and that will start my video. So you can join me, and we're going to start filming here. Okay, go double click. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to plan week 34 of 2025. So this is August 18th to August 24th. So there was my intro. I'm also live streaming right now. So I have, I think, two people hanging out on my live stream. So hi and welcome. But I am going to be posting this plan with me video right after the live stream. So you guys can absolutely uh, watch both. I will put the live stream uh, evergreen link in the cards. So if you want to watch that, you're welcome to. I'm going to use this really cute summer washi from Bloomsicle. This is, and I'm going to show the live too. Got sunglasses and super fun um, summery colors, and I haven't used this one yet. And summer is, getting towards the end, so I want to make sure that I use it. Uh, so I usually put my washi again at 10 o'clock so that I am blocking off that time. So I'm not planning anything after 10 o'clock. I may be out of the house after 10 o'clock on a rare occasion, but I'm not making plans for things after 10. I also usually put my Tombow marker colors at the bottom under the washi. So I have this pink that kind of coordinates here with this pink flower. And that is 817 that I'm using. So for everybody who's watching live, this is the pink that I'm using. And then I have a blue. My Tombows get used so much that I wear off the numbers, so I always have to look them up ahead of time. It is very rare. Occasionally I do have part of a number, but it's very rare. So the blue that I'm going to use, this is 493. It's a little bit brighter than this background blue, but it shows up better on the planner. And then the peach that I'm going to use is 912. It actually looks like a brown from the cap, but it is a very nice kind of deep, rich peach color. So we are going to lay out the week. Now, this is going to be a bit unusual this week because I am taking Monday and Tuesday off. My mom and my son are coming into town for a visit. And so I'm going to visit with them on Monday and Tuesday. I'll be back at work on Wednesday. So my work box only going to be 3 days long. Yay! Only 3 days of work. I like those weeks. I don't think I've ever really talked about it on here, but I work as an architectural designer. Um, I went back to school in my 40s and um, learned all about architecture. Got an architectural master's degree, and now I work in an architecture firm. So the first thing I always do on the week is block off my work because I'm not doing anything personal during that time. Or if I am, then I know that I need to alter my work time. I work remotely from home now since we moved, but I do still need to work my hours. So I need to make sure I'm getting in the right number of hours. So if I'm taking a break during the middle of the day um, to maybe have a Zoom call or conversations with people, then I need to make sure that I'm working a little bit longer or getting up a little bit early to do that. So usually I set that work block up, and then I often will start by putting a sticker here in the corner. I'm going to show the live here. Uh, usually usually put a sticker in the corner, but I'm actually going to wait on that for a minute because I do have some things on Monday. Usually Monday's quite kind of a quiet evening. We're usually at home, and I don't mind if the sticker kind of overlaps Monday evening a little bit. Um, However, uh, this week I'm going to be out to dinner on Monday, so I want to make sure I get that in first. So I think I have two colors left. These two colors, the pink and the peach. I need to pick one color for my car for when I'm out and about and doing things like running errands and stuff like that, and one color for events. That's usually how I do it. So I think my car is yellow, and so my brain thinks this way. I'm going to use the more yellow color, which is this peach color for the car, and then the pink will be for all of the events. So the peach color for the car, pink for the events. So let's write in first thing I know. So I always have my call with my friend Kim on Wednesdays. So we'll write that in. I usually have date night on Tuesday, but with family in town, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Let's see, we have dinner. We'll probably get somewhat chatty, so I'm going to give us 2 hours for dinner, longer than I normally would. And I used the wrong color. After all that, all right, I'll add in a yellow. All right, I'm going to do it that way. And actually, I think I'll put in the box. For Keisha, who's online, I am just drawing in my little boxes to write in my events for dinner on Tuesday. And I'm going to also add in a box for dinner on Monday. I totally used my peach color to make these boxes. Was not planning on that. So now I need a third color. I'm going to go with my trusty, and this is for when I need to drive places. So I'm going to go with my trusty 991, which is a yellow, the pale yellow, and it matches my car. So I kind of think of my car every time I see it. I'm going to put a line um, on top of the other. Line. All right, so here's what I've done for my online. I made some little boxes here. And I am going to add in, I know that I have got some little ice cream stickers somewhere. Where'd they go? Thought about using them the other day and then I decided to save them. Here we go. So this sticker book is just where I collect all of my miscellaneous stickers. So it's got, any kind of stickers that I have received, um, either just randomly or the little extras that come with other stickers. And so I have this really cute from the Coffee Monsters code, just a little emoji ice cream. We are going to be going out for ice cream after both of these dinners, which is why I have the box at the bottom. So in goes the ice cream sticker for both. I will write in, see, we have Pietros and Cyril's. We're going to do a St. Louis favorite, which is Ted Drew's for ice cream on Tuesday. And then we're going to do our favorite, which is Clementine's for ice cream on Monday. My family growing up loved ice cream. My dad would take me for ice cream every single night. So much so that if one of us was sick or something and we couldn't go for whatever reason for ice cream or we were out of town, the people at the ice cream shop would think that something was wrong and, and they would actually be genuinely concerned about us. It was very strange. I usually put a little arrow that'll say to the restaurant or wherever I'm headed on my little car line. And that is really just to block out time so that I know that I'm not scheduling things up against other things if I have to be driving. So I always block in my driving time here ahead of time. I don't necessarily worry about the coming home all the time, but for getting there, I definitely block in that drive. I am also going to put a ribbon up here at the top that lets me know my mom and son are going to be in town. Do you have to turn your page and your head when you write? I do. My page ends up almost vertical, like opposite, and I have to turn my head when I'm writing. I don't know about it if it's an everybody thing, but uh, in order for me to write nicely, I have to do that. I have another binder that's new. This was the Coffee Monsters Co. She just released this one. It's so cute. Uh, with her, I want to say it was the July release. But anyway, I just got it and I put the stickers that I use every week for setup in this particular binder. So I absolutely love this. And I think because this blue will probably look pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and use up my sticker sheet. I get excited when I finally get to use up a sticker sheet. So this is the end of, or close to the end of this sticker sheet. I still have all these little this week labels. I'll probably move those into this book because I don't really use those all that often. And that way I know that I need to get some more of these stickers. I will the bottom, cut off this bottom part here, and I will put that in my washi graveyard. So I have in the back of my book, I have what I call the washi graveyard. And it is, any little strips of washi that I don't end up using. Sometimes I put little fruit stickers in here. It just becomes a collage um, at the end of the 6 months or however long the journal is used for. But I also will put in this bottom part of any sticker sheets that I use up because it helps me know that I'm using my stickers and which stickers I use very frequently. And it helps me know, about how often it takes me to go through those stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out now and stick that in so that I don't forget. Oh, of course, dropped it on the floor. I do have tweezers, but I always forget to get them out until it's too late. So I don't really worry about where I'm sticking these. Oh, my kids are totally confused about the fact that I have to turn it also. And so I always thought it was just me. It's just a quirk that I have. Now they're all grown up and they still, you know, get confused about that. All right. So I have cut that little bottom part off and go back to my week and add this sticker in. And as I say that, I also know I'm not ready to. I need to get a little line up top, and I need to add I have this Staller or Stadler, I never know how to say it, uh, gray that I use when I want to emphasize certain lines, but I don't want it to really stand out with a black. And so I use that for lines for the days for my menu planning. Um, don't really need that to stick out, but I do want it to kind of be defined. And that gray just gives it just a little bit of definition, uh, almost like using a pencil. And then I can write over it in black and it kind of fades into the background. So I'll usually write a menu plan with this gray pen, and then I will write over it with the black. And I can put in here that we're going to be out on Monday. We're going to be out on Tuesday for dinner. We have a picnic on Friday because it is our last night at the Muni for musical theater. And that only leaves 4, and we always eat out on Sunday. Um, we eat out when we go grocery shopping. Uh, we always go to the restaurant first, fill up so that we're not hungry, and then we go to the grocery store. Um, and okay, that is the first half of the week. Pretty good. I'm gonna double check. I keep everything on a Google Calendar. Um, hopefully, there we go. Okay. I have a Google Calendar for my long-term events. So as I'm collecting things to do, those always go into my Google Calendar. And then I use that to create my month calendar here. But then I always reference it again while I'm planning because something may have changed, something may have come up. And if it does, then I'll usually put it into the Google Calendar. Um, but both of those are reminding me that I do have theater. And this goes till midnight. So I usually make another separate little line down here um, just to kind of show that we're going to be in there that whole time. Um, we try and get there 6, way ahead of time, and picnic. I don't know if you've ever been to St. Louis before, but in the summer, St. Louis has a place called the Muni, and they do Broadway style musical theater um, shows, and their shows are outdoors. They just won a Tony for being the longest running outdoor community theater or something. Um, and they brought the Tony on stage um, at the first show. But it is in Forest Park, which is an area that was created for the World's Fair. Um, and we bought season tickets, and this is our last show. I love musical theater. So I'm going to be sad that we don't get to go all the time anymore. And I'm going to write Muni over here on the side. All right. It's not my favorite look of the way I wrote that, but I'm going to live with it. I'm going to learn to like it. I'm going to reach over here off screen, and I'm going to get out my big chunker book. This is the miscellaneous stickers. Again, stickers that I have multiple sheets of, or that I only use occasionally that don't fit into my Coffee Monster Co. Binder. It is a humongous little sticker album. And I'm going to see if I can find, I know I have some Southern Belle Plans stickers. Oh, nope, I have these. These are even better. Look at those. They've got the peaches and the blues, and I think I'm going to be able to find one that can go in my corner here. I am very torn between this super cool Volkswagen Beetle and the lady with the scarf. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the Volkswagen Beetle down at the bottom. There we go. How fun. That is perfect with the sunglasses and everything. And we will put the lady with the scarf right there. Actually, I like the car a little bit better. So I'm going to pull these up and I'm going to switch and put her scarf on the bottom and the car over the top. I tore the sticker a little bit, but you'll never notice. There we go. Excellent. I love that. me show you what here. There we go. So I put the little lady there and then the Volkswagen Beetle. All right. So I think I don't have anything else going on during the week, and I would love to take you guys out and around St. Louis. So that is a great idea. I am a little terrified of sitting there and filming myself talking to my camera, but I think that that is definitely in order here soon. So maybe I'll take you guys with me to the Muni and show you what it's like to do the picnic and the theater a little bit. Um, that would be fun this Friday to kind of have that memory before it's over for the summer. That makes me so sad. I'm just going to put a few little finishing touches in here. That. And I do need to look at my work schedule. I don't keep because my work schedule is in flux all the time in terms of meetings and such. I don't keep anything about it in my physical planner until the week of. Um, and then I open up my work calendar on the computer because I'm always doing this at my desk here. Um, so I open up my work calendar and just kind of take a glance. I actually do not have any meetings scheduled this week. Got a lot going on, but none of it is meeting related. So I don't have to put anything in the work calendar. I'm going to double check and see if there's anything that we plan to attend that I know of here. I have a birthday. My uncle's birthday is on Monday, so I'll go ahead and add that in. And I have I have these tiny icons from the Coffee Monsters Co. I have a little one for this one for the theater, and then I have this one for uh, for birthdays. So I'm going to go ahead and take a theater one. Let's stick that in here. And the birthday one here. One of my secret goals, I got 2 of these theater sheets, is to actually go to the theater that often so that I can use up all of those stickers. Um, that's going to take me a really, really long time. I probably did not need 2 of those sheets, but it's fun to dream. I do have little day off pillows. So I'm going to go ahead and put one just across here with a little arrow each side, just to kind of emphasize that I am not working those days. And I usually don't end up planning my weekends ahead unless I have very specific things like tickets or plans or whatever that I know are concrete. I usually kind of play it by ear and then back plan. So, this week I added in the live. We actually did do something yesterday, and I'll add that in. Oh, I did not. I'm looking up at the live here. I did not actually share my sticker stash. I will have to do that at some point. I have been collecting stickers for quite a long time. The majority of my stickers are the Coffee Monster Co. stickers. I have a lot of her stuff, um, but I do have some other collected stickers around as well. Um, and I'd like to have kind of unusual stickers to mix it up. I do like Southern Belle Plans for stickers. She has a softer look, and that kind of more watercolored, softer look to her stickers, and I really enjoy that, especially on weeks like this past week where I wanted to do kind of a softer spread. She has these softer colored stickers. Um, and those are kind of fun. I have no idea, by the way, where I got those, that Volkswagen Beetle and that lady. I think it came in the mail with something. Um, I did not purchase those, and I have no idea where I got them, but I remember thinking at the time, oh, I'll use these at some point, and I stuck them in that book, and then I haven't ever used them really until today. So, those are always fun to add. One last thing I usually do before I finish up is I go to weather.com and I put in what the expected weather is for the next week. So I'll write in that this is Uncle Tom, and it is going to be hot in St. Louis again this week, which I think is pretty normal for summer here. We're used to being up in the area by Lake Michigan, where it's a little bit cooler. Um, and so this multiple days in a row of 90 degrees is kind of a new thing for us. Usually it'll hit 90, but only for a day or two. I think it's been 90 for a week here. Where are you at? What's the weather like where you're at? Curious. Is it hot like it is here? I feel like most country is pretty hot right now. Uh, we're going to get back into the 80s this week, so that'll be kind of nice. I like hot, but that 90-degree weather makes it really, really hard to want to go out and do things, especially outside things. And I like to get outside, especially on the weekends after I've been cooped up inside working all week. So I'll usually write the high and the low temperature, and then I go back and I look. We're supposed to get rain on Tuesday this week. So I will make a little line under Tuesday. And then if we go back and look at last week, I will usually put the little icons of what really happened weather-wise up at the top. And that way I kind of see if it was correct or not. Um, it's just kind of fun to see if they were right. But also knowing that it's supposed to rain, I might want to consider what kind of activities I'm doing outside. If I have something come up and I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do it. Um, but I think that is my planner for the week. This is kind of where I settle on for the week. I have all of my activities in there. I know I'm going to be doing some things with my family, but I'm not sure with my mom and my son what we'll be doing on Monday and Tuesday. I do think actually I'm taking my son to the Budweiser Brewery on Monday, but that could potentially change. I'm going to kind of see what he wants to do. They have a super cool tour, but if he wants to do something else, then we will do whatever he's interested in doing. Uh, that is my week. Thank you for coming along with me on the journey, and I will see you for another plan with me next week. All right. So it's been pretty hot where you're at too. Oh, you're in California. Oh, fantastic. Are you North or South California? Um, I have ended the plan with me, by the way, on the phone. So I'm still on the live, but I'll wrap this up pretty soon too. And then I can post the actual plan with me so you can see what I did instead of me, you know, holding it up like that all the time with the lighting doesn't want, it wants to reflect off of this Moa River paper. It doesn't necessarily um, want to show it real well when I hold it up with the webcam. Uh, I have been to California twice, both times San Diego area. Um, once for a cruise and then once just for a visit. But I haven't been to Northern California. My kids have with their grandparents, but I have not. I know that you had asked about or said something about improving the Alistair method. Um, I was probably going to do something about that. Um, I'm thinking the first week of September, because I already have it set up for August. Um, and I only kind of have the lines drawn in for September. So this is what September looks like right now. I just, I, I just put these in for every month, I think. Yeah, see, October I have. Um, but it's just colored lines. And then at the beginning of the week, I can kind of show you. Um, I put the week number, the days of the week. I have a little column for due. So that's if I have a due date on something like this down here, has a particular due date, I'll put that in. Oh, you're Southern California. Very cool. Excellent. um, that's that's an area that I've visited, so I kind of am familiar. Um, but yeah, on this Alistair method, I'll put the due date in. I will go through and put the days in. Now this week I have fallen off of recording. I have done a lot of this stuff, but I have fallen off of Xing it off. I'll probably go back and do that today. Um, and then if something is really, really important, I'll make a little exclamation point. Um, this really important, super important goodwill run uh, that was supposed to happen today or yesterday didn't happen. It's going to happen today. Um, Mainly, I need to get stuff out of my house because my mom is coming and she is persnickety about clutter. And so I have a couple bags of Goodwill stuff right by the front door, and I don't want that to be her first impression. Um, but anyway, if something's really important and I want to make sure that it gets done, it gets an exclamation point and then it gets a dark colored dot, a pink dot. Anything else just kind of gets a gray dot if that's the day I want to do with the thing. And I don't worry about what order any of the stuff is in. What I'll do on any particular day is take a ruler and hold it up there, and I can see exactly, I'll look at what dots there are, and I can see exactly what I need to get done. And then if I have extra time to do some of the other tasks that don't have dots, then I can fit those in, and I know, what I'd like to get done for the week. Um, so that's how I use it. I've seen people do other ways of using that. Um, so one of the other things that I do, if I have, for example, I always read, we're reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, a friend of mine and I always read it on Tuesday so that I'm ready to talk about it on Wednesday. And then once it's done, and I'm not going to do it again for the rest of the week. I'll draw the line all the way through, so that if I do hold this up, I know that that's not something that's still on my list um, for that day. That's completed for the week, or completed entirely. And so that's one of the ways that uh, I make sure that I'm not spending my time and attention on things that I've already finished. Um, Down here, I have a single task for work, and then I have a bunch of sub elements to it. I just wrote a list. Those are all really small things that I need to address, but I want to make sure they all get addressed. So I put lines through here because I'm only going to check it off on the big task, like the main task. And then I'll go through and draw a line through each of these words to make sure that I know that those things were done. Um, at least that was my intention. I did mark off that I worked on the project, but I never marked off all the little subtasks. Um, but those did all get done and sent out on Friday. Um, so I'm pretty simple with my Alistair method. I can take a look at another week. This is in July, this week right here. So on Sunday, when I'm getting ready to make my task list for the next week, I'll put these little arrows for anything that didn't get done that I want to move over. If it didn't get done and I'm not going to move it, I'll just put a line through it. So if it's a habit that I'm just tracking for the week and I'm already putting it anyway, I'm not moving the task, then I'll just draw the line through it. Otherwise, I'll put a little arrow that indicates that I want to do that another time. And so I will either move it to the next week or I'll put it on I have a future me problems list. That's an idea I got from Joshi Corin. And so if I look at it and I go, well, I didn't do it this week and I'm not going to get to it for probably 3 or 4 more weeks, there's no sense in my writing it continuously on and on. So I'll put it onto my future me problems list. So at the end of the week, anything that doesn't have a checkbox here gets a little arrow here once I've moved it to wherever it needs to go, so that I make sure things aren't getting lost. When a new task comes in, I will either immediately put it on the list, even if it doesn't need to get done that week, and put a little arrow next to it, or I will put it on that future me problems list if I don't think it's something that I'm going to get to in the next week. Um, Meditations, how I like it. This lovely thing. Um, I This is a really hard read for me. Um, he says the same thing a lot, and a little bit dry, but I think that it prompts really good discussions. I tried to read this several times by myself and never got through it. Now I'm reading it with a friend, and we do a little bit more than a page every week, and then we talk about it. And that has been really helpful. I think the discussions are actually more interesting to me, or the discussions that she and I are having about what we're reading are more interesting to me than the reading themselves. Um, but I wish you luck. It's an insightful book in some ways. In some ways, I feel like he was, well, I mean, he was emperor. So sometimes I feel like he was a little bit clueless about, an ordinary person's life. Um, and that I think that comes through sometimes. So I, oh, how exciting that you grabbed the weekly duo. That's going to be really fun. I'm going to be interested to see how you use that. So hopefully you will add videos on your channel of using that weekly duo. Um, I think I have been live for about an hour now, though, so I think I'm going to say goodbye and wrap it up. And I will post the phone video of the plan with me right away after. Sometimes it takes about 10 or 15 minutes for that video to upload, but as soon as it's uploaded, it'll be there, and I'll make sure I link the two together. Um, So I will try and do this again. I'll check towards the end of the week and see if, um, at the end of the week, if the live works on my phone. If I can get it to work on my phone, then I will do another live again soon, probably next week, with the plan with me. If I can't get it to work on my phone, I'm going to wait a little bit because this is as as fun as it is, it's, I think, maybe less interesting um, to watch. So um, we'll see. I'll I'll kind of see how I like the way everything works and what I feel like next week. But I will for sure let you know ahead of time if I am going to go live. I'll let you know at least in the video the day before. Um, and I did see there was a way to notify people that I'm going live on the computer. So um, I will let you know if I decide to do it again next week. And thank you for joining me. It was fun to have somebody along with me while I was planning. I did enjoy that aspect. That was really fun. Uh, so I will talk to you soon. Bye.